walk away from me, 'cause there is nothing, nothing if I don't have you. What's the song? So anyway, today I was working on a new website because I'm redesigning my website completely, and hopefully it's going to be up in a couple of weeks. It's going to have a shop, it's going to have blog, it's going to have a guest book, it's going to have all of my art on there. Basically it has everything in one place, and yeah, so I'm working pretty hard to try and get that organised in the next couple of weeks. But anyway, I was I'm writing a blog about assemblage and my interest and how it all started, and I started writing about my childhood, and I really got to thinking about it quite a bit today, about how my interest in assemblage, I guess, really started out. And I can remember way back when I was a kid, must have been about 7, 8, 9, I can't exactly remember how old I was, but just picture this, right? Australia, postcode Charters Towers, really dry, hot, crows everywhere going, ah, ah, you know, just 35 degrees, which is about, I think, 95 degrees Fahrenheit. So pretty warm. We lived in a Queenslander. For those of you that don't know what a Queenslander is, just Google it. Basically, it's a house that was built in Australia that was designed for hot climates. Basically, it had lots of louvers, wooden louvers. It had a big veranda around it, so you could open them up and let the breeze go through through the front and back of the house. That sort of thing. Ours was pretty low to the ground. It was about a metre underneath the house, and that's where I used to escape as a kid, because there was only me and my brother, and there was 8 years difference. So he was sort of old, he was older than me, but we had nothing in common, so we didn't really hang out very much, and I was pretty much of a lone child. So, you know, I was always off in my own little world, and I would often go under the house, under this crawl space, because it was really nice and cool in the dirt, and I'd play with all my toys. I'd have my cars set up and lots of, you know, stuff everywhere. Anyway, there was this tin shed that was in the property next door to us, and it was vacant. It was quite a large vacant block of land with this shed, and it was all sealed up. It had big chains around it, and you couldn't see what was inside. And as a kid, you know, oh, that's exciting. You just want to know what's inside. You know, could be, you know, some amazing treasure or something. You know how you'd think as a kid. So anyway, one day I went over there and I found that one of the tin panels at the back of the shed was actually loose, and it actually could come off because a couple of the nails were rusty. So I pulled it back and I looked inside, and it was pretty dark. Well, not completely dark, it was light enough for me to see, and I crawled through and I got inside, and it was like, oh my god, this is really cool. There was lots of like old furniture, big cupboards, old seats, like those old-fashioned recliners, a wooden chest, boxes of keys, boxes of photo albums. There was just all this really cool stuff. An old piece of furniture that had a mirror on it, like a dressing table. Just lots of cool stuff, and I was like, God, this is my new cubby house. You know, because it was all closed in and it felt really cozy. And that's where I basically hung out for the next year. I would, you know, every time that I had free, I would go there and I would bring stuff, bring my toys, and live there, and just, it was just like another world. And I remember not long after I moved in, yeah, claimed it as my own, that, you you know, I realised that there was mice living there as well. And also some other creatures like lots of spiders and actually snakes. Because in Charters Towers there's like lots of poisonous snakes. You've got the, a brown snake, you've got the taipan, copperhead, and they were all in the area. And you know, I remember lifting up pieces of tin and finding copperheads and brown snakes. So you know, it was, you know, it seemed scary, but it was just common for us to, we were surrounded by those sort of things, so it didn't really affect us. And as a kid, you're really invincible. You don't think about the consequences. And you know, I spent many hours in this shed, and you know, I saw the tracks where the snakes had obviously slithered across the dirt. But I remember just a lot of the times going in there, and you know, because it had a dirt floor, I would walk around and I'd disturb the dirt, and there'd be like little holes in the tin roof with almost spotlights of light coming down, and the dirt would float through them, and it was just like a laser show almost. It was amazing. But I think I got really interested in that whole secret thing, looking for really cool stuff, like all these old photo albums full of these people's lives, and you know, old bottles, because I used to collect old bottles, because there was like this dump not far across the road, and I found lots of old ancient bottles with marbles in them to stop them from the liquid from getting out, and just really cool stuff. But anyway, so that lasted for about a year, and then we decided we were moving. We were moving up to Cairns, Queensland, well, Innisfail. But I remember one day, not too long before we left, that the people that obviously owned the shed actually came, and they came with a big removal truck, and they actually came to take all the furniture. And I was thinking, like in hindsight now, I was thinking about it today, maybe it was all that furniture was probably like, I don't know, one of their mother's possessions, and after she passed away they just put everything into the shed and just left about it. Because, you know, when I was looking through the photo albums, it was just heaps of family stuff and lots of, yeah, all that sort of stuff. But I felt kind of sad, because they just came in, took everything, and you know, they actually pulled the shed down as well a couple of days later, and it was all gone. And it was like I spent a whole year living there, and it was like my secret little world. But anyway, yeah, so that's sort of how I got interested in, well, assemblage, and that fascination of living in another place, and that, you know, letting your imagination run wild and come up with all stuff, and you know how it is when you're young. So yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Alright, have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Later. Don't walk away from me, 'cause there is nothing if I don't have you.